yesterday there was a storm cloud that was a storm coming to Maryland, and the state, the counties, the cities, businesses, families, and individuals certainly took appropriate preparedness measures to get ready for this snowstorm. As you know, some counties got a lot of snow and others just had rain. But we would all agree that the right approach was preparedness and ensuring for the safety of our citizens of Maryland. We believe that there is a storm brewing in Washington, D.C., and that storm of sequestration will certainly bring have an effect here in the state of Maryland. So we are taking that same approach to our Maryland budget, to spending and taxes. And to kick off our plan, I'd like to introduce to you Delegate Tony McConkey from Anne Arundel County.
The Republican members of Appropriations has reviewed the governor's budget, and we believe that it leaves the state too exposed. The governor has read the tea leaves, and he believes he can risk hitting the gas pedal and spending another $1 billion this year. We are proposing a more cautious approach. We propose a zero growth budget. We believe rather than blowing the new revenue on new spending that we should save it. There's a lot of clouds in the horizon. Earlier this year, Maryland taxpayers got a 2% cut in their incomes. We had the Social Security tax holiday reduced, and therefore we think it's reasonable that the state government reduce its budget by 2%. If Maryland taxpayers can do it, it's reasonable the state government does it, and by reducing by 2%, it would cut $555 million from the state budget. It would return us to the amount of spending that we had last year. And we think that that's the cautious approach. We think that's the appropriate approach, given sequestration. Sequestration, our budget analysts, nonpartisan budget analysts have predicted that it could affect us greatly over the next 2 years. About $10 billion comes from federal aid. That can be cut significantly. Also, individual income taxes, because people being laid off and losing their jobs, could also impact individual income tax. Now I'd like to introduce Delegate Sue Aumann.
Thank you all. For several years, the Republicans on the Appropriations Committee have presented alternative budgets that provide spending restraints on the governor's budgets. You look at this chart, and this is Maryland's total spending, and it's increased $1 billion every year. That's $1 billion of taxes and fees that our Marylanders have to pay. It's so easy to see this growth that even a caveman can understand it. And if you take a look at this chart, this is a percentage of Maryland's growth in the budget and the growth and decline in personal income growth. You can see the pressure that Marylanders are facing. With working Marylanders are losing ground. The budget is outpacing personal income. This mentality is going to hit us hard. The next few years, the federal support on Medicaid expansion will decline, and Marylanders will be taxed because today's state leadership can't make the hard decisions to stop increasing the spending. Federal cuts in Maryland should have widespread implications, compromising the future generations and the ability for them to be successful. We must prevent this generational theft. The spending addiction is crippling us, but we have a plan. Let me introduce.
We spend a great deal of time in our districts, all of us, at the grocery store, the gas station, soccer fields, church, listening to people, and the message is clear. We're hearing less spending. Families like this family from Harford County, what the governor's budget is doing by increasing spending by more than $1 billion every year is putting undue hardship on these families. We thought this was the case, and so we put a poll question in the Gonzales poll in January, and we found out, yes indeed, we are right. We are hearing from our constituents. 64% of Marylanders agree with us. They say we need to stop these annual $1 billion-plus spending increases. We are listening to the citizens. Our plan protects against more taxes and fees. It's fiscally responsible. It's a great alternative to the bloated spending plans that we see year after year. As part of that poll, we asked people whether they think that Maryland government should stop spending more money every year because taxes are already too high in this state. They knew it was true just like we do. 64%, a majority across the board, Every party agree with us. The citizens of Maryland are clearly tired of the same old strategy of raising taxes and increasing spending. The leadership in Annapolis is out of touch with the pressures on family budgets like the Smiths from Harford County. So once again this year we thought, last year you may recall we put a question in the Gonzales poll and we said, do you think you pay enough or too much in taxes? 96% of the people responded, yes, we pay enough or too much in taxes. We thought, is this an anomaly or is this really how people feel? So we put that question back in again this year. The results were identical. So we know it's true. 96% of the people say they pay enough or too much in taxes. Our plan is in line with the views of Marylanders. It protects against future tax increases. It puts people like the Smith family from Harford County front and center with our plan for Maryland's future budget and spending.